Hey guys, uh, welcome back to episode 10 with How to LeetCode with Jeff. Today we're going to be solving LeetCode 150, evaluate uh, RPN, reverse polish notation. And essentially, what we're basically going to be doing is we're going to be building a mini, I say double mini twice, because it's technically an interpreter, like a mini interpreter with like really limited functionality. And if you're familiar with the call stack and how it works, if you built an interpreter before, we're only going to be implementing 4 commands. And for these arithmetic operations, essentially what we're going to be doing is to add 2 numbers and to subtract, multiply, and divide them, right? So some of the edge cases are the division between 2 integers always truncates towards 0, so meaning that if we do 1 divided by 3, it would round down to just 0, right? So we can think of it as an example input. 2 and 1 get pushed to the stack, so you would in an interpreter you would probably have that as a push command, right? So push 2, and they're going to be interpreted as strings, so we're going to have to do some string to integer conversions just to make sure everything is good and not type errored. 2 and 1, now our stack has 2 and 1, and we see an add command. So when we see an add command, we want to essentially pop these 2 off the stack and push back 3 on the stack, right? So we don't want to push the actual operation onto the stack, as that would be redundant. And now we're left with another 3, so the stack has 3, 3. Now we see the final command, which is a multiply, so we're going to pop 3 and 3, multiply them, push it back into the stack, and we're going to get 9. Okay, so the second one is, I'll explain that later and when we get closer to the code, but our output is going to be the always valid. Excuse me. We're guaranteed it, so there's not going to be some like weird errors that we were running to where let me read this. That's just a longer example. Yeah, so we're always going to be evaluating to 1 output. We can get into the code. So we need 1 data structure, which is the stack that we initialized, and this is a medium problem, but I would put it closer to an easy problem, just because of once you see that when we get into the code, it'll just be a lot of redundant code. Okay, so we initialize our stack. Now we can start iterating through the tokens, right? So for the character in tokens, right, we have 4 cases. If this character is equal to the plus operator, essentially what we want to do is pop from our stack, or actually we can first append. We're going to be appending this output, right? So we want to pop twice and just add these values, and you'll see why you're like, hey, like how are we adding to, where are we like concatenating those? We'll see why when we get to the last case, why that is going to work out. And another case that we have is going to be minus, so I believe it's the same thing. However, the order in this case does matter, so we're going to be let's call this I and J. We're going to be basically doing 1 minus 2, I believe. Yep. Or, well, my apologies, it would be 2 minus 1, I believe. So let's initialize some arbitrary values such as A and B, and then we're gonna order does matter for subtraction and division. So we're going to take these two inputs, and then now we can access them, right? So we can append and push. By append, I mean just push back onto the stack b minus a. Our third condition will be if character is equal to, let's just do multiply first. This will be the same as addition, where we're just multiplying the two values that we popped off. And for our final operator, if it's equal to the division sign, we're going to want to do the same thing because the order matters, right? So we can grab both elements off the stack, and yeah, we can stack that append, push it back. We'll actually do, so this is where we're going to take care of the edge case. In Python, rounds down to 0, so like 1 divided by 3 would round, like 0.3 would round down to 0. This would be just not the floor division, not double slash, just regular slash. And finally, if it's not equal to any of these, since we're guaranteed it to be like, it won't have like some random input. If it's anything else, then we know that it's going to be one of these number. So then we could just stack that append, the integer, convert it from a string to an integer in a character, and finally we can return. We're guaranteed the only element should be left is the one we're returning, so -1 or 0, doesn't really matter. That should be good. Stack.pop, I didn't put a parentheses and call it properly. Yep, there we go. Let's run it to see if it works. Okay, and that is how you solve LeetCode 150, evaluate RP and reverse polish notation. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.